Hello, my name is Big of Mustache. Well, not really, because I'm shooting this from my new home, and if my landlord thinks I lied about my name, he's gonna kick me out. So, apparently, I've been transported to North Korea, and it turns out that for some reason Kim Jong-un wants me to show the world what the country can do. No, not that. That's useless. What he actually asked me to is to coach a football team and win the Asian Champions League with them. Now, you might be thinking, why did they choose me? I'm like a fish out of the water, or like an adult playing the Dutch league where for some reason most players there are teenagers. So, who are you going to play against next? It seems you're gonna play against AZ Alkmaar. Oh, though this player is 17, it's gonna be super easy. Well, I do have a lot of experience with Football Manager, you know. But something that might help me is that there is a special player who is so good at football that people believe he might actually be the Supreme Leader's son. They call him King John Pelé. My new boss gave me only 2 seasons to work, so time is of the essence. Since we're not in the Champions League for now, our only shot is to win our National League in the first season and conquer Asia itself in our second. Right off the bat, I have to face a dreadful challenge. I need to introduce myself to the players. The kind of situation that terrifies every Football Manager coach and anxious person out there. Luckily, I happen to know a secret trick that works in every social situation and in the game as well. You just say hello and leave. It works every time. Oh, hi boss. Did you call me? Yes, have a seat. Yes, this is not an easy thing to say, but I'm not satisfied with how little you work, so I have to fire you. Actually, I gotta go. What? Yeah, I got a lot of work to do, bye. Huh. If he doesn't even have time for me, then he must be working really hard. Can't believe I was about to fire this guy. Maybe I should give him a raise. I don't know why I'm German. After this successful interaction, next I set up the tactic. Since we have one of the best players of all time in the team, I try to make him the center of our attack. The fullbacks and wide midfielders try to pass between each other and mostly just give Pelé plenty of space to do whatever he wants. But we go through some friendlies, everything goes well, and then we reach the first match of the season against April 25, who happens to be one of the best teams in the country. Things start well with a goal in the first 5 minutes, but a quick counterattack ties the game for them. Then in the second half, Pelé seals the deal and gives us a win. And then next we... Wait a second, what kind of name for a team is April 25? What's next, eh? February 8? Actually yeah, we do face February 8, but it's not really relevant to the video. Anyway, our next game was against Ryo Myung-soo, who happened to be a very difficult opponent. By the way, we are the red guys now. Kinda odd that we just have 2 very different colors and instead of picking a dominant color we just use both. So yeah, that game was a draw. Then we play against Ryo Myung. Don't get confused, it's a different team who happens to be much tougher than anyone else we played so far. They just kept pushing and even managed to score a goal. Luckily, the Supreme Leader was on our side because the goal did not count. Then our keeper saved the penalty and right in the end, Pelé gets a penalty. Isn't it good to be God's favorite? After a while, we reached the 10th round, where we're gonna play against Kang, who were top of the table way ahead of anyone else by that time. I thought I was doing well since my squad outside of Pelé is pretty meh by Korean standards. We only have 1 player in the national team, but they were even more impressive, so I came prepared for the toughest game of the season. And then we scored 8 past them. I don't know why, things just worked out a little too well this time. I was planning to show more of the second half of the season, but it was kinda uneventful itself. It seems the squads start to get more and more used to play with each other and with Pelé, and the results just kept coming and then we won the league. I spent that time trying to increase or or maybe decrease Pele's ratio of minutes per goal by subbing him off in halftime, and I guess that worked well too. He's even being worshipped by fans, which yeah, seems about right. After a good year, we need to prepare for a much bigger goal, and with that, we have to face new challenges, like a player in the team that complains that we don't have a good right back, so right away I buy the best right back that I can get, which is not much because like we're in North Korea, and he's still mad? Hey, I got you the right back you asked for. He's a real killer, this guy. He's the best right back we can get, but I do not grant him the rank of good enough for us. The children are dead. Well, and whose fault is that, huh? It's the killer. The killer's fault. Yeah, you guys are right. But despite those challenges, we breezed through our friendlies, and our first game of the season was against a good team of Real Myung-soo. And we show our calling card. Subscribe or you're gonna make me cry. Not really, but you know, you could subscribe. You know why the World Cup is so special? Because it happens every 4 years, just like my videos. Don't you want to be a part of this special moment? Anyway, we beat them. And eventually we make it to the Champions League group stage in good form, where we have to face opponents like Jeonbuk from South Korea. Bad Korea. A team from a place that doesn't exist. Oof. We also play against Vissel Kobe from Japan and Hanoi from Vietnam, with our first game being against Jeonbuk. Despite the fact that we have a strong disadvantage over the fact that our squad is so much weaker, we're still hopeful on a good result. Our hopes are broken immediately with a penalty right at the beginning of the game. Soon after they score another one and another one. After that I decide to cut our losses and play defensively, which works, because they only score one more goal in the second half and then we get one for ourselves as well. But after the match, our boss is not very happy. But I explained to him that since we lost the first half by 3 goals and then drew the second half, it means that the next time we face them, we're gonna win the first half by 3 goals and the second one by 6, and that seems to convince him. But thanks to that first game, I decided to change the tactic for once. I promise there's a difference. It's not like those graphics that compare games from today and games from 5 years ago. As you can see, the wingers and fullbacks have different functions now, and also the striker over here, he becomes a deep lying forward. First, to give more presence in the middle of the pitch, and also because he's our second best player, so he can give some more quality to the middle. And we get to test our new tactic versus our Vietnamese opponents, and it seems to work, because we score first with a strong shot. With a couple more goals, we end the match with a solid victory. And after this victory, we take a little break to see our youth take and... Did we kidnap him? Why is there a Brazilian kid here? Shh. That just happened. We ignore that to visit Japan for our next match and our first real test with the new and somewhat more defensive tactic. And there's a thing about Pelé. I made him to be really good at big games. Makes sense, I don't think anyone would disagree here. But that means those are the moments that he likes the most. More specifically, a great goal to start the game. And then an assist. We are in the beginning of the second half with a 2-goal advantage. You know what happens next? An avalanche of shots from Vissel Kobe. First, they do manage to score to make things a lot more tense to me. And after that, it's chance after chance after chance after chance. Still, we manage it and go back home with the 3 points. Our fourth game is against Hanoi, and to my surprise they scored first, but soon we get back at them until we get the same result from last time. And finally we prepare for the rematch against Jeonbuk. Also in the meantime we won the league again, but who cares? At this point I'm only focused on getting my revenge, knowing that at this point we are probably good enough to pull it off. And they get a penalty in the first 10 minutes, and they score. No big deal, we can still get a draw or something, or that's what I thought, until they scored this insane goal at 38 minutes into the first half. And while we did play well, we even got an offside goal, which, let me say, it's brave referee there to do that in North Korea.
I fear no man, but that thing, it scares me.
Eventually they get their third goal and my hopes of qualifying are left to the last round. But the loss at home really shook the foundations of the team, with the founder looking to step aside, which may mean that the supreme leader might want to get rid of me next. To increase pressure, the Japanese coach claimed that we were an easy opponent, which... what? Do you remember what happened last time? So yeah, this is the context I'm in, next to the most important game of the year. And I'm not gonna lie, we are the underdogs here. But it's rude when someone else points it out. Right off the bat, they almost score a goal with a missing header, and soon after that they don't miss again and open the score against us. But only 10 minutes later, a blunder from the defender allows us to tie the game. And then we get another one. And at this point I'm thinking, maybe this thing is something special. Like, are we supposed to be good enough to be pulling this off? Even with Pelé, like, he himself shouldn't be making that much of a difference. They give us a couple more scares, but we managed to go to the halftime in the lead. Sadly, only 10 minutes in the second half, they tie the game and then score another one to take the lead again. And despite being weaker, we can't afford to lose him, and Pelé knows it as well, so he scores possibly the best goal I've ever seen in FM. At this point, the match does feel like it can go in any direction. At one moment, Pelé steals the ball and creates a great opportunity that we miss. But nearing the end of the game, he gets another goal for him and we're back in the lead. But this is not over yet because they get a penalty. And then I start praying for my keeper to save a penalty for the first time in this competition. But no, they score. I guess I don't believe in the Supreme Leader hard enough. And again, it feels like anyone can win, with both of us needing a good result. We miss a shot, then they miss their shot, and then it's over. Well, at least we didn't lose, and looking at the table, we managed to keep our second place. Oh, we didn't qualify, and if you compare to the other groups, we missed by only 1 goal difference, so the last Vissel Kobe goal kicked us out of the competition. Well, we didn't qualify, but I think we did well. It was a very respectable... Wait, what's that? Any last words? If I die I can't make any more videos? Oh, good point. Yeah, no, you're free to go. Oh, okay. Bye. Bye.
That's right, bye. By now, escape planning for beginners. Are you stuck in a situation you may want to plan your escape? Then this is the right book for you. But be quick, before the book escapes from the bookstores. Hahaha.